All right, we'll call the Cottrellville Township Board meeting to order for Wednesday, July 11th, 2018. I'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sherry, would you give us a roll call attendance, please?
Sue?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Mary Agnes?
Here.
Sherry?
Here. Kathy's excused. All right, we have a couple of additions and deletions from the agenda. We're going to add on to the consent agenda. 3C1 is going to be open to be paid invoices for Kelly Law Firm. 3C2 is IT Right, renewal of their antivirus coverage and proactive performing monitoring for the all 8 computers. 3C3 is also in the May board meeting. We approved a quote in the amount of $2,787.40 for installation of alarm system for pump 1, and the invoice came in a little higher, $540 more. We've already approved the payment for the $2,700. I just want to make sure that we have it in the record that we have added another $540 to it. Under new business, we got a letter of engagement with Stuart Beauvais, which shows us the amount of the basic stuff that they're doing for us as far as the audit is concerned. We have announcements, some new hours for our assessor, and 4B, under consent agenda C, we had to remove the fire department from IRA again because they had no calls. So, with your permission, I'd like to add these additions and deletions to the existing consent agenda, and I need a motion to do that.
I'll motion to approve the additions.
And I'll second.
I second. Oh, you did second?
That's all right, you can second.
Okay.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Now the consent agenda, as presented. That's going to have the regular meeting of Wednesday, June 13th. The approval of the treasurer's reports dated as of May 31st. Township investment reports, including all CDs and money markets. There is no reconciliation for the general checking at this time. The reconciliation of tax accounts for as of May 30th. Account number 3905. The cash summary reports by account general fund for June 30th. And all the funds, 101, 208, 219, etc. Also the approval of the clerk's reports, which would be the revenue and expenditure report period ending June 30th. Approval of paychecks from June 1st to June 30th, a combined gross total of $17,647.36. Approval of accounts payables in the amount of $4,607.26 that are open to be paid. 3C2 is $56,000, which are already been paid, $56,177.33, which were 38 checks, and the check numbers are there. There's also a Fifth Third corporate account credit card balance of $163.19 that was paid by check number 19715. And we have the Marine City Area Fire Authority department runs for June. Of course, those other items that we just discussed, the Kelly Law Firm in the amount of $1,400. That's a total of miscellaneous charges of $500, and then the Todd Chartier versus Cottrellville is $900. The IT Right renewal for the contract for the antivirus and pro performance monitoring for all 8 computers, renewal of the contract for antivirus and proactive performance for the server, remote backup for the server, renewal contract for the website, email, and the renewal support contract with unlimited services for everyone here in the amount of $3,440. In 3C3, in the May, we had that $2,787.40 to install the alarm system, and there was more intricate work that needed to be done, and they charged us an additional $540, which was approved by Chris. for the installation of the unit and the antenna. And so my request is for the payment of the additional $540 for the extra labor to install. So,
Could I?
Sure.
I have a question. Well, I have a statement. Sometimes I'm kind of guilty about throwing my mail in a corner, and the other day I started looking for my check, and I couldn't find it. So
your paycheck?
I started going through everything, no check. So when I got this, I looked and it's like, you never wrote me a check. Tom didn't get a check either, by the looks of this. We didn't get checks. How did you, how are we not on payroll?
Save your money.
Yeah.
Hey, got someplace.
Yeah, I see, the other people have gotten checks. If Tom's not complaining, you can give me his.
I got one a couple months ago with one signature on it that my bank sent back to me, but I don't know how that ever worked out.
They sent it back?
They sent it back, Kathy followed up on it, and
Oh,
the bank paid it,
wow.
so I'm trying to follow up with my bank.
Yes, I see. I wonder if,
You dropped us? You don't like us anymore?
I wonder if I only printed till the 27th because Chris would have told me that he got no check.
Yeah.
Oh, his isn't on here?
No, his isn't on there either.
Okay, yeah.
Now it makes me, I need to go look.
All right, well, let's check into that. And we'll-
Yeah. Just as long as we get it.
Yeah, it's a
Just to
set
let you
amount, so
know.
we don't need to, I mean, we'll go through it next
Yeah.
month, but we'll get you the check before then,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I can
Without-
get you
Would
the
be
check
nice.
tomorrow.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
okay? If that's all right with you.
Yeah, I just thought, I used to.
Good question, though.
I used to do payroll and like everything, everybody was listed
Well, I
in
have it
payroll. and-
written on my calendar. I don't know how I could have missed it the last day of last month.
Okay, well, as long as we're gonna get one.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? And approve it for payment?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all items on the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. On a roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Sue?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
motion carried. All right, open session. Do we have anybody in the audience that wants to approach the podium and talk about anything that's on the agenda? Hearing nothing, we'll proceed. There's no unfinished business. We'll go into new business. The planning commission term appointments, we've got those straightened out here. This is my request to renew everybody that was there. Mr. Treadway's new expiration date would be 4/30 of 2019. Ellen Jones would be 4/30 of 2021. Lisa Marcus Pressman would be expiration date of 4/30, 2021. Lance Survey, new expiration date is 4/30 of 21, and Jean Moore is also 4/30 of 21. Do we have a motion to approve all those renewals for reappointment for the planning commission?
I'll make a motion to approve the new appointments.
And I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Hearing none, motion carried. All right, let's go to renewal of proposals for Leo's Pest Control. He's been doing this now for the last 2 or 3 years for us. I did ask him to give us a deadline on this thing so we'd have the building washed down when we have the people come for election in August. That amount would be $475. Treating the Township Park Playground and Sandbox is $250, and treating the Township Hall for spiders and wasps around the green areas, perimeters, eaves, and that was $450. So we can do that all in one lump sum if you would like.
Was that all done in kind of with the same amount as last year, or was it?
Same as last year and the year before.
I'll make a motion to approve Leo's proposals.
Do I have a second?
Oh, I'll second that.
You didn't doze off, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right,
I was
all in
just
favor
thinking.
signify by saying aye. On a roll call vote, please, because we're spending money.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Kathy's excused. Motion carried. Okay, we've got notices for drainage ditch boundaries and review of apportionments for the Coniff drain and the West Marsh drain. And these were both reviewed for today up at the Kimball Township Hall between 9 and 5. Barb Shutt went up there to get some of the information on it. It just seems like they're really working downriver here to drive us all crazy about this. It's a lot of money. And, you know, like I say, we're spending like 40 grand a year right now for the drainage at large, and that's pretty well eating away at what's in the fund balance. And that's got to be that way, I guess. These are all things that they wanna clean the ditches again, I guess, so, I don't know, they didn't do it for 40 years, now they're trying to catch up all in one season here, I think, this is like the 4th or 5th one that we've had, just for our little township,
I
so.
thought we had been paying. That's what I thought. I know they cleaned ours. On McKinley Road, they cleaned that out maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought we had one on our taxes.
Well, I just want you to be aware of it, so.
Yeah, we got a notice in the mail.
Yeah,
Bill was
everybody did.
grumbling.
So. All right, number 4 is request a payment to Project Control Engineers for the balance of the 2018 sanitary collection system review in the amount of $950. And now that job is 100% complete. I need a motion to approve payment to Project Control Engineering for $950. I'll make that motion to approve that $950. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please, Sherry.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Kathy's excused. Request for payment for project control engineering on the amount of $2,500 for the capital improvement plan development. That is nearly 70% complete. This is the next draw is $2,500, and I would so move to make that payment as well.
And I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye, and roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Kathy's excused. Approval of payment of a promissory note to Sam Raich for the Cottrellville Township Waterfront Park. There was a principal amount of $8,000 that was due, must have been 2000, I don't know. I gave you the schedule of payment on there, and the copy of the promissory note, and a copy of the purchase agreement. There's a principal payment of the $8,000 plus $1,885 in interest payments. I didn't know anything about it. Last year, we couldn't find anything about it. I don't know why he's waited so long to be, to bring it to our attention that it was not paid, but it was some kind of a deal that the previous board must have done in order to get the rest of the money from, because the county only gave them so much money that they were short. And it was supposed to have been up to $100,000 is what I worked out a deal with Mark Brochure and Dennis Bazinski. He was on that committee at the time. And that's how that was supposed to work. But evidently they were short 16 grand. And she signed a promissory note, Kelly and Lori. And no one told us about it.
This was coming out of Parks and Rec.
Yes,
Yes.
it is coming out of Parks and Rec.
Yeah. But it was kind of missed in January of 16. And that was right after the recall. So after Lori left and Angie came in, Angie must have lost it somewhere because it should have been paid in that January and it wasn't.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of things that got because I still can't find certain things.
I thought
so.
it was mentioned in the audit that there was
Well, we couldn't find proof of it. All I could show was that there was one payment made. And then I checked with the realtor, I went through the salesperson, I went through the county Parks and Rec to see if they knew anything about it. Nobody knew anything about it. So it must have been a side deal between Sam Raich and the board to get the property completed, the sale.
It's just funny Sam hasn't brought it up sooner.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's
because
what
that
the
cost
question
us $1,800 because of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So with your permission, I'd like to have Sherry write that check. If you approve the amount, which is $9,800.85.
Well, it's already been approved to pay the $8,000 and we own the interest, so it,
Yeah. And this has all been through the lawyer, so she double-checked my numbers. I did the schedule, but she went through and double-checked everything, so. Do I have a motion to approve the final payment?
I'll make a motion, make the final payment the same rate.
And the money will be coming out of Parks and Rec.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye, and a roll call vote, please.
Sue?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes,
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Kathy's absent, excused, motion carried. All right, let's go on to the rates that were discussed. That's the next thing on our agenda for water rates. And Chris is out of town, but I'm just wondering a little bit whether that's gonna be enough. You can see this was the show that he put on for us, the PowerPoint, and then he printed everything up, and we are at like a 25% loss, water loss.
So are we coming up with what we want to charge? I didn't see that.
Well, the base fees is first thing he's attacking first, so.
Yeah.
Right now, we're at $21 for 738 customers. He's suggesting 28. I'm just wondering if we shouldn't go to 30.
No.
There'll be
Yeah.
more things that have to come on that list besides, I mean, this is strictly the base quarterly fee.
Yeah.
There'll be things that we have to add for meters, because we have no replacement value, and those meters, the ones we have installed right now, they gave us 20 years, and we've replaced probably 20% of them already, because they're just, I don't know what it is that they're just not functioning right. A lot of reads that we're not getting that we have to replace or rebuild. So I'd like to figure out enough so that if we have to replace those every 10 years rather than every 20 years, that we got enough money to do that without dipping into the kitty.
And you don't have a kitty if you're paying more than what you're charging.
No,
You
we
don't have a kitty.
Exactly.
All the other taxpayers are paying for it.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna happen, because we're not doing it that way. But that was the reason why we have to.
It's supposed to be self-supporting.
Yeah, it's an enterprise. fund,
Obviously,
which
it's-
means it
it's
has to
not
stand
though.
on its own.
Yeah.
But I think we get to that and, some other things that I wanna, make sure that there's enough money to cover things that need to be covered.
Yeah, and get
That
it going.
never was set up before. Chris and I are working on that now, so.
Good.
But right now, the base fee, I think, it's the board's call. His suggestion was 28, but I would prefer to go 30.
We're not voting on this tonight, just the meeting, we got a meeting coming up with Chris on this, or no?
Well, we could vote on this part if you wanted to. This would start the money rolling in, the next bill.
Anything that we don't use, it'll go into the,
It goes into a line item for the water only.
only.
Yeah.
So it's just protecting the,
It's just to build a little bit of a cushion there so that if we had an emergency water main break, where, you've been on those,
Oh, yeah.
at least I've been on them. I was on that one for the 15-mile road one where we went underground about 100 feet. But when you gotta repair those, it's 24 hours a day, and it's an expensive proposition, and we couldn't handle something like that right now. I mean, we'd have to make payments to whoever fixed it. But what we'd like to do, it's your call, if you think I'm out in left field going too high.
And the quarterly fee is what now?
Right now, it's 21.
That's at 21, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if we changed it to 30, That would give us a yearly total of $88,560.
Chris come up with 28, that, he thinks that's just gonna give us a little bit of an edge on it.
Well, I'm wondering, he's got in one spot $73,800, and the other one he's got $78,300. So I don't know if he's got a number transposed, and I haven't been able to get a hold of him because he's been out of town. But that's the other thing I want to confirm. But if you want to just hold off on this till next month, or hold a special meeting just to go through it, and maybe get the rest of these line items done that need to go on the invoice as well.
When is the next billing?
She's got one out right now, don't you?
One just went out right now, the next one's gonna be, September 30th, so
Okay.
the rate change would be October 1st.
Okay. So, we could always wait till,
If we wait till the next meeting, it'll
Yeah, next
still make the next billing.
yeah.
If you'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion to table this until next month?
I'll make a motion to table the township water
Okay.
rate raise until next month.
And do we have a second?
I'll second it. I'd like to talk to Chris too a little bit, just to see what his thoughts are.
Okay. I'd like him to come in and sit down with all of us if you guys
Yeah.
got a chance to do that.
I know last time he was here, it was really interesting, but yeah, let's find out more.
So we can do like a template and just kind of give you what our brothers are, and then you can pick it apart that way, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any nays? Hearing none, motion carried. All right. Okay, we have a request to spend $750 for calibrating the sanitary sewer meters that were purchased for checking the SAW grant stuff. It's by a company in Ohio, and they're coming out to inspect similar lift stations in East China, Ira Township, and the city of New Baltimore. And our township engineers, project control, are recommending that we do this. I guess apparently there was a problem with the installation of some of them, and that's why we're gonna get them all checked out again. He may do it a different way, but he said it would still be less than $750, so I just want an approval. So whichever way we do it, we get it done. They're receiving a discount at all these locations and passing the same savings on to us because they're gonna be in the state for one day to do this for everybody. However, if Anthony comes up with a different way to calibrate those, it would be less than $750. So this is an up to request of $750.
How did they know that they weren't installed correctly?
I don't know. I think it was because the water was running the wrong way. So we'll have to see what actually was wrong, but they were installed wrong. So they were supposed to be moved, and they didn't get moved, and it was kind of a disaster. So that's the reason why I just want to make sure that they didn't injure them in any way, because they're still under warranty until we get this thing straightened out, so.
So Chris and those guys weren't in, we would have never known this, that they
No.
were wrong.
No,
That's kind of scary.
no.
Okay.
So I have a motion on the floor then to spend up to $750 to calibrate the sanitary sewer meters.
I'll second it.
All right. Roll call vote, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Kathy's excused. Motion carried. All right. We have the update on the town hall meeting that was held on the 27th. And our planning commission chairman is here, and I'm going to let her go up to the podium and give us the rundown on how it went.
Actually, after our next, we're having another town hall meeting, which will be July 25th at 6:30 PM on Wednesday, 2 weeks from today. The planning commission has not made a recommendation as yet. We will do it probably at that meeting. But it didn't look good, because to change 26 Mile Road to a light industrial would affect homeowners from the standpoint of their taxes would not go up at this time because they'd be living there as a resident. as they previously had lived. But if we change the zoning to light industrial, their problem would be when they go to sell the home. That would be a problem because it would be sold as a commercial property, even though the people buying the property may use it as a resident. And I talked to the bank today too to verify, because Barb Schutt had told me they would have to get a commercial loan. They would not be okayed for a normal mortgage. And that's a problem because whoever would buy the homes with a commercial loan would be paying a higher interest rate. And there's not as many commercial loan available as there is mortgage loans. So that didn't go well. I'm in process of writing an answer letter to a couple that live on 26 Mile Road that wrote a lot of good questions, and we're in the process of answering it. I'm going to run it by you, Mary Agnes. So, and then so that kind of, in our discussion, it was kind of a negative thing. But one of the audience members brought up having a industrial park, which would not be as big of a situation because then you're not changing the whole area to zone, you're changing one area. Industrial park from the appearance standpoint, which the people in China had a problem with, that were living on the other side of 26 Mile Road. They were concerned about industrial and it lowering their value of their home just from the visual standpoint. Well, an industrial park would have a different presentation, and a member of the audience did suggest that, and other members of the audience seemed like that wasn't a bad idea. We wouldn't rezone it. We would just leave ourselves open that if somebody wanted to approach as for an industrial park, that would be an option. So getting to the Four Corners at Shea and Starville, Mr. Kuzel was not interested. And there was a lady that had a problem with the northeast corner because she lives not in the area, and she was concerned what would go in there. So we discussed that, but I don't think we really made any final discussion of what we thought. We were kind of mulling that over. So, and we did not take a vote of our recommendation. So I'm sure at the next meeting we'll talk about what's coming up for the next meeting, which is to change the zoning on Marsh Road to the dredge cut back to agricultural, and at one point it was agricultural, for the benefit of the people that live on that road. If they wanted to do some agricultural sales from gardening, they could. That's the thought process behind that. We'll see what happens when that town hall meeting goes, and see what kind of if people are for or against it, and we'll have that discussion. So we'll be making a recommendation after the next town hall meeting, our next planning meeting that follows it. So, and we'll send it to you, to the board. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh.
No, we're good.
Good job, thank you.
Okay.
We got letter of engagement contract with, under new business, with Stewart, Beauvais, and Whipple. That's for the original auditing procedure that they do is $14,900. And then, of course, we have these other items that were added prior to this, so. And that letter of engagement is right there with you. And if you have any questions, it was in the stuff I gave you tonight. If you can, so I can find the page for you. The 14.9 is on page. Oh, it was on there. I thought I had it highlighted, but I guess I must not have copied it correctly. Anyhow, that was the base price of the audit, of the normal things that they would do, and then the other things we've already approved. So I would need a motion to approve by signing this agreement with SBW in order to them to complete our auditing. And it's in the amount of $14,900. And I would so move.
Is this something that's already in our budget?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to sign this letter of engagement contract with SBW. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please, Sherry.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Okay, Kathy is absent. Motion carried. All right, I think that's, we don't have any public announcements. What about public comments? Anyone in the audience have anything that they want to discuss that we have just discussed, or anything that they would like brought up? Sure.
My question is, on this water rate, base rate that you want to raise, does the money go separate per district, water, whatever those districts are, or is it all one big fund?
It's all one fund.
And the other thing is, the leak that used to be under River Road, the water leak, has it been fixed? It was about 9-10 years ago, there was some kind of leak.
Where is it? Where was it?
Well, it was somewhere on River Road, and there was an issue with assessing the people that lived there, and it was tried that everybody would have to pay for it or something. Is there a freshwater leak under there?
Not that I'm aware of. Anybody know about that? I've been hanging around here about 15 years. I don't recall
I just remember
that.
there was a problem because they were trying to get everybody assessed, and somebody went to the state or a lawyer or something and said, oh no, it would have to be the residents on River Road.
Well, 10 years ago, there was no water anyplace but on River Road.
Okay, well, whatever, they were gonna assess everybody or something.
Yeah, we've only had water out in the country since 2008.
Right.
They were trying to put it on general, come out of the general fund, and they want people just was on the water line to pay for it. I don't remember that leak, though.
I don't either.
No, I can't remember that conversation.
Do you remember what house it was in front of?
I don't know, it was underneath, somebody, they were just losing water.
Do you remember, Mr. Barnes?
Well, that
Do
would
you
make
remember
sense.
that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the thing
I thought you
is,
were the
gotta have
historian.
water and sewer separate.
I thought you were the
And
historian.
you said it's one big fund.
You don't,
I don't have a sewer.
Well, we pay a base fee also for the sewer. This is strictly for water.
Okay, so you're just talking $30 rate, raise
Per quarter.
$30 per quarter for the water people.
Yep, just for water people, yep.
I
Yep.
thought we discussed years ago about putting it in separate, for separate districts, because, naturally, the River Road's an older district. And so, everybody's gonna be paying for.
Because how old is their water?
Well, it was just replaced when they widened the road there, so that's been, since I've been here, so probably about 19 years ago. So it's not really that old.
Yeah, I thought there was discussion about putting in separate funds for separate districts.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of bookkeeping to do that, and what happens if one fund, once it becomes the water system for Cottrellville Township, everybody has an interest in it,
Is that normally what the townships do?
That's what they normally do, yeah, but if you want us to go through that, that would be a lot of work.
No, I just
We'd have to
remember that
assess everybody
discussion.
different.
The water comes from different places too.
Yeah.
But I remember that discussion, that's why but I don't know what's common for other townships and how they handle it.
Does that pertain to only to the people that are getting water now?
Right.
Because they're the only ones paying it.
I'm not paying it.
That's right.
Yeah, but you got a well driller in your family.
Yeah, but he's retired.
3,000 feet in the ground.
Yeah, if our well ever quits, we don't have a machine anymore. We're in trouble.
Okay, well, is there, no one else wants to talk about, anything under public comments? Can we go to announcements?
Could you just, when you said about the auditors, the $14,900 is the base fee, and other things that were, I had to miss a couple meetings. what other things have been approved? Other than the 5,000 that turned out to be 10,000, I remember that for the health they gave. Now, is that separate from?
Well, we're in a
That's
new
it.
fiscal year now, but that's it.
Okay, but what are you talking about? Other things?
Well, the things that were discussed with the special training for the clerk and special training for the,
So that would be the 10,000?
yeah.
Yeah.
And is there anything else?
No,
But
that's all I
that
have.
comes up to 25,000, I mean.
It's up to,
24.9, right?
I think we have 30,000 budgeted in the,
Okay.
so we've still got a little bit if we have to, but they're gonna let us know if we get close to that, but, the
But
girls are
that's what I
picking
said
this up.
was going to happen, that the price was not gonna be this 15,000 that they originally said it was gonna raise. I know that company.
Mhm.
They wheel and deal and just raise their things.
Well, we done pretty good at getting them to come around, so,
I don't think so. I think 25,000 is quite a bit.
well, there was a lot of work that had to be, and there's still a lot of work that
Yeah, I
has to
know
be
there
fixed. Our assessments are in pretty rough shape, and that's one of the things I'm gonna ask Barb to work on when she's caught up with some of the taxes and stuff, because that needs to be researched, and I think it's too much for Kathy and Nicole with what they have to do here every day. So, and with Kathy's husband being so ill, I'm not gonna ask her to do anything right now, until she's got so much on her plate.
But the thing with Barb too, I hope that they go over the water districts and make sure that the
I-
money is where it's supposed to be.
Yep, I've asked her to
But
start,
that's in the audit from last year.
yep, well,
It says that it should be gone over.
yep, it's gonna be started from scratch. She did that for us in Clay, so.
One question on this.
Sure.
On the water line, on the billing that we got, that we borrowed the money from the state, and I pay so much every year in the fall for the water assessment. Are we up to date on all that, or are we behind on any of that, or anything?
On the payments? No,
Yeah.
we're right on target. Those bills come in and the county has signed they're backing us up. So, they send it to us about 2 months early, and then we double check to make sure that the money that's come in, that there's enough to cover the penalty, or the principal and the interest. And we've been right on the money all
Well, how
along.
many more years we got on that?
We're at 10 right now in the 2008, so at 50%, 10 years, we're allowed to refinance. And we may do that, I don't know, that's Kathy's call if she wants to research that. The other one is 2009, so it would be next year. So she may want to wait and do them both at the same time, or and finance one for 10 years and one for,
What would be the purpose of
It's been 10 years.
refinancing?
so it would be what?
What would be the purpose of refinancing?
Reducing the interest.
I don't think they'd be able to reduce the interest. It's
What
going
was
up
that?
again.
It was, no, it was at 5.9 or something, wasn't it?
Yours was higher than
On
Yeah.
the 2008 one?
Yeah, the 2009 was a little bit less, but at the time we were discussing this, the interest rate was at like 2%, so,
You might still be able to beat, you might be able to beat the that percentage.
well, like I say, when Kathy gets a chance to work through that, she's a good digger. She will
Yeah.
research it, and she'll bring that back to us, so. Okay, the other announcement was the new hours for our assessor. Barbara Schutt has been with us about 30 years, I think. She has officially retired from Clay Township. She was also their township assessor. And her hours are always here at Cottrellville in the evening, like Tuesdays and Thursday evenings between 7 and 9. Well, now she's going to switch to Tuesday and Thursday days from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. And she'll handle all the public discussion, anything that comes in and asks questions. Any phone calls will come to her at that time. And then the rest of the time, she'll work sporadically. She said she wants to leave Wednesdays for a chance to go out into the field and double check assessments, because she has in her, to keep our accreditation up, she has to do 20% of all the residential, 20% of the commercial, and 20% of the industrial stuff every year to make sure that it's caught up. So she does that rotation every 5 years, and she's responsible for that. So that's kind of like her side work that she has to stay on top of. Plus, I'm going to ask her to, with the treasurer's permission, to do those assessments so we know where we're at. So that's kind of good news. It's nice to have her here. She brought this article that I gave you tonight that was in the Montmorency County. They're opposing that bill that's going through right now with assessors. They want to take a lot of the local assessing out of this area and give it to the county. Of course, the county don't want it because they don't have the money for it either. And it really affects everyone in this county except Clay Township because, you know, they're a lot. It has to do with how many parcels you have and how much money you have. I think it's $12 million in revenue, and I think it's 5,000 parcels, and we only have like, what do we have, 20, just under 3,000, I think, or under 4,000, so we don't qualify for that. This is one of the things that they would come in and take over for us. And of course, when the state comes in and does stuff like that, it's always more expensive. So, and we've been handling our own, and most everybody in the county is trying to fight this. This is a bunch of legislators in the Michigan House trying to do this, and they adopted a resolution to stop it. So she just handed to me this afternoon as I was going out the door, and I made a copy for you guys to read. But I'd like to approach the county too to see if we can do this individually by each township and village and city, or if the county will pass a mass resolution to fight this, because it's, you know, like I said, Artie probably won't fight it because sitting pretty. He's still gonna be able to control his stuff, but the rest of us are gonna be, you know, taken over by, when the, you know, the government says, I'm here to help, you know, that's not gonna happen, so. So that was the reason that I gave you that. There's one more thing in here that came from BJ Meldrum. He's with Project Control. He's going to do a trenchless demonstration on doing a pipeline repair. Now that's something that I think we should be aware of, because that may be some of the work that's going to have to be assessed in our sewer line. So, and what I actually figured Tom might be the only one that would want to go with me, but I'd like to see how they set this up and repair it. And it's supposed to be less money to do, and it's easier than having to dig up a pipe and replace it. They put a lining in it. So, and it's trenchless. So that is going to take place on Tuesday, and that's at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's just for board members if you want to go. It's an invitation for that demonstration.
Where's that at?
It's on that. This is down in New Baltimore, I think, is where we're going to do it. They're going to repair and it's a 10-inch truss pipe, so that's that paper pipe that nobody likes.
Yeah.
And it'll take about 2 hours, and then it's, you know, they'll have camera views, and then he's going to send you, because the cure time is an hour and a half, so we won't hang around there. We'll take off, and then he'll email us the information as to how it turned out and what it looks like when it's finished. So, just another way to save a little money. So, also the millage, there's a millage renewal for senior citizens that they've asked us to put on our website. I don't know, did you get to that yet? I don't think you have you?
No.
No. You're gonna put it on the website for the township, that they request the seniors of St. Clair County, particularly those that get a great deal of benefit from our local Algonac, Green City, and Cottrellville area here with Washington for Life Center and those kind of things. So it's just a renewal of what we already have. So, and that is all I have. Is there anybody got anything else they want to discuss while we have the floor open? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I'll second. At 8:17 PM, we'll adjourn. Thank you, everybody.